BYOT. Bring your own tacos.
Dick swinging.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast.
We can say fuck.
With Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
I don't care. I've been smoking. This is cool. That's a decent amount of sausage. This man needs a doctor. Yeah, I just hope they're tasty. What's up with these clowns, man? Cut the lights and went through people's pockets. Don't you point that at each other. Let them smoke a little. You need to step it up to that point. We're not gonna lead with the. We're not gonna lead with
Welcome to American Slacker Podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And I am Jesse. And today we are joined by our esteemed guests, Deltacity. And that consists of our friends here, Phil and Tone. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thanks
Excellent.
for having us on the show.
Oh, thanks for joining us. It's exciting to have you guys. Big fans of new wave, disco wave, anything with that retro styling in general, man. And as soon as we started talking to you guys, I really enjoyed what you guys have been releasing.
Cheers,
especially the newest release, July. I really thought that whole album was great.
Yeah, man, that's our debut album. So that's the first one we've done. But it's it was exciting to make, man.
Now,
exciting.
Did you have some other stuff up there before this album?
No, we had
No?
we had loads of content before that on our Instagram. So
Okay.
we were putting out loads of images and
Okay.
little short videos and things like that. So we had some stuff on YouTube that is from the
That's
album.
where I must have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you probably,
I've been
you
watching
probably
those YouTube videos with the older footage and stuff.
Yeah.
I forget what's the one named Trinity Breakdown.
Trinity
was one
Breakdown,
that really
yeah.
caught my eye with all the
Oh,
atomic
man,
bomb testing footage
Honestly,
and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that was that was quite a funny story. So this one, I was just trying to play around with some images on YouTube, and I pulled up a video, and the timing of it was just perfect with what we'd made.
Just worked in it straight
there
away,
was just a few
kinda.
bits in it that were out. So I just Tony does the video edit inside of it, and he took it, and literally an hour later, I just put that together. So it was
Worked
really,
really well,
really
didn't it?
quick. Yeah, really quick work, but it just worked perfect. So.
And very, very eye-catching, and I mean, with the Oppenheimer quotes sampled in there and stuff, that
Big sample,
it goes really well. And I think visuals are a big part of this style of music as well.
Massive.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you guys develop your what would you say your style is in that sense?
I'll leave this one to Tone actually, because I think Tone deals a little bit more with the artwork. I mean, I have an input in it, but Tone does a lot of the artwork and videos as well. So
Yeah, I don't know. There's I mean, a lot of the images based around the genre is it's all very neon, isn't it, and very 80s. Mm-hmm. So just searching stuff like that really, and obviously the film for the video for Digital Memories from the film Drive. Obviously, I love that film, and that's kind of where the whole genre sort of stemmed from a little bit.
Kavinsky, people like that. That's what got us into this back
yeah.
then. I mean, I'll be honest. For me, this is quite new for me. So Tony got into this scene quite a while before me. Really, you got me into this scene with Gunship. Gunship's album was the one that just blew me away, and I thought, wow, we need to do something like this. But yeah, I think with Kavinsky, just amazing art way before his time in terms of this scene,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. There was nobody like him around at the time, man. I remember listening to Kavinsky back in high school and just being like, "Holy shit, what is this?"
I know, and it's good. I mean, he's taken the '80s. That's where all of this comes from. But he's just done something with it that was special, And,
It's the best bits of the 80s, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Best bits of the 80s.
Yeah. It's the
John
nostalgia
Carpenter
part,
films,
Yeah.
computer games,
Yeah.
all sort of.
Exactly.
It's all created this
It's all
sort
the
of whole
pop
genre of
culture,
music, and
The incorporation of these sound clips that fit to the theme of the
Absolutely,
melodies,
I think
and
we've
even
got.
the lyrics.
I think for us as well, with our images, we do kind of have a bit of a sort of manga-ish style about us as well.
yeah, it's just personal likes, isn't
Yeah,
it? Really,
yeah.
so good films,
Yeah.
manga, obviously,
I mean,
that's
Akira and
animation's
stuff,
great.
there's
Yeah,
so many films from back in the day that
Yeah.
I loved, So I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think for us, I mean, I was born in '81, so I grew up in the '80s, Tone just before, but you know, we both grew up in the 80s. That's our...
So lots of great
Yeah.
memories of the
Like
year.
my house-
We got the end of that decade covered.
Yeah.
88, 89, but we're still there. We crept in.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
still-
Yeah.
Grew up-
You can still claim it.
Grew
It's
up
cool.
with the best media. Like the '90s had shit for media. So I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, we were talking the '80s was the exposure we had. You know, whether it's Star Wars,
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
like, even
absolutely.
like I'm noticing like the Goonies poster in your artwork. You know, like
Yeah.
shit like that. It's like you know, it just brings you back,
I
man.
know. It's great, isn't it? I know.
That's
Yeah,
best
it's
film
just-
ever. Yeah, and for me, that's
Yeah.
that nostalgia. I mean, I don't know if you watched the Goldbergs, but that was my life when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm Adam
Oh,
Goldberg.
Love the
Goldbergs is
Goldbergs.
great.
That's
we're
me.
big fan.
I love
What's that one actor, Matt? We're trying to reach out to get him on the show.
Wait, Brian Callen?
no.
Or-
Brian Callen's also on it.
Oh shit, the kid that plays Barry.
Yeah,
Oh, the
Barry.
brother.
Brother.
That's my
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah,
Literally, that's what I said. I'm Adam Gold. Me and my mate used to make videos all the time with just shit that like we're always trying to dress up
nice.
Star Wars and all this stuff. We made a Terminator film when we were like 8. So it's just
Nice.
like really, yeah. I don't know why we were watching Terminator at 8, but we were. But you know, like, my brother was Barry. Like he used to like always think he was wicked at breakdancing and martial arts. He couldn't do shit, but that's what he thought. Like he thought he was amazing, good to the girls. But
Fantastic.
Cos, if you're listening, you're awesome. So, yeah.
Oh man, is he bigger than you? Because I mean, are you
I'm a
worried to
big.
make
I
it
don't know. Well, no, I'm bigger than him now. He's my older
Nostalgic
brother.
brother beatdown after this. Watch out.
It's
It's coming for you.
Oh man.
So
Man,
where
so-
are you guys located? I know you're in the UK, right?
Yeah. So we're based in Newquay in Cornwall. So I don't know if you
Down
know
southwest, yeah.
southwest of England. So
Okay.
it's a massive place for like surfers. Obviously, I don't have the build to surf, so I can't surf. But originally,
Not out there paddling out
Nah,
on waves.
nah.
I mean, I'm in California, and I can say the same thing. I'm not exactly, waxing
hard,
up
man.
the board.
Yeah. No, I mean, so it's. I moved here 10 years ago. Tone has lived here a bit before me, but
Not long, yeah, but yeah.
He's originally from sort of just south of London. I'm from North London, hence
Okay.
the accent. So yeah, that's where we're from originally, and then yeah, we both kind of moved down different times. And Tony's actually my brother-in-law, so I'm getting married to his sister in 5 weeks.
Oh wow!
So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So you're kind of stuck with him.
This is
right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope it goes well.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's better work out.
Man, hopefully goes well. Oh man.
Fingers crossed.
I know, yeah. What's that thing Biggie
Well, that's cool.
says? Money and blood don't mix, but never mind.
We'll prove them wrong, hopefully.
Do it anyway. It'll work out well. You're making great music, so.
So is Synthwave like a huge community where you guys are? Is it still an underground type deal? Because here it's not really big.
Nah.
It's like you got to be an underground like appreciator and look out for these pop up shows
Yeah.
if you want to see anybody live. Or
I mean,
you know,
I think it is.
like-
It is pretty underground, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
But
very.
obviously,
It's getting bigger,
it's
but-
whole 80s thing
Yeah.
is drifting into like modern culture,
yeah.
innit? Like
I don't know if
mainstream
you've got
stuff.
it over there. Like all the adverts now and everything have all got like some kind of 80s synthwave style
Yeah.
backing.
you know, yeah.
You know, I think Stranger
Yeah.
Things really helped highlight that. That was
so good.
When that come out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, we forgot how awesome the 80s was," and now everyone's
Yep.
kind of jumping on that bandwagon a bit. So
But I think unless you're listening to it, people probably don't know the actual music is out there because
Yeah.
it is very underground still. You know, it's
Yeah.
not. You know, none of it's.
Yeah.
None of it's in our sort of in the UK charts. It's not like.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not as big as that,
Same
so
here.
you need to know
Yeah.
what you're looking for. But I mean, it is getting leaked out into people's sort of consciousness, even
Yeah,
if they're not
definitely.
aware of it. But
yeah,
Some
Getting
ad
bigger.
execs
Yeah.
are, going to the underground shows, throwing
Yeah,
it in the background of
Yeah.
commercials and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
yeah,
I mean, for us, as I say, we've only been doing this for less than a year now, isn't it? Really?
since we started,
Yeah.
just some mad idea.
Oh,
we
wow.
had.
I know,
Some
yeah,
mad
it's really-
idea one night, and
We used to meet up
Just
all
this-
the time. So I've got this like I don't know. You can probably see this is a glorified shed. It's basically a shed with a studio in it.
Could have fooled me.
It can,
you shouldn't have said anything. We thought you were like in a legit.
you know,
studio.
you thought this was big style, innit? You know,
Fake it till you make it, right?
this is what Abbey Road looks like. Have you ever seen this is where the Beatles recorded? So, but yeah, I mean, we used to come out here and chill all the time, just watching YouTube. And I've always like had a studio and made music, but not this genre. And it was after Tone showed me that Gunship album that I was like, I've got to make something like this. And I didn't even know at this stage, which is crazy, that Tony could sing. And we'd been, we'd known each other at that point for like nearly 8 years, 9 years.
so I've been like just a bedroom guitarist for the
Yeah.
last 20 odd years.
I didn't think I could do it. which was crazy. So that's a bit of a crazy story, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess that
That's cool.
all this time, we were kind of hanging out and doing stuff, and the music I was producing, as I say, wasn't this. It was more hip hop and dance and remixes and stuff like that. And and then Tony said, well, I might be able to write a song. And the first song he wrote it's on our album, The Silver Horizon. It's the first thing we recorded about 2 weeks after we agreed to do it. And that's your first vocal, isn't it, ever? So
First time singing into a mic.
That's wild,
I
man.
know.
You're natural at it. I mean, I hear a lot of synthwave, new wave, any of that, and it's just a lot of people, man. It's hard to nail that voice,
Yeah.
You got a perfect voice for it, and it just translates perfectly.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Where it's not out of place.
Yeah.
And man, I can't believe this is your first time doing vocals in a band at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, apart
That's insane.
from messing about when I was a kid with my mates with our guitars and just singing Kinks and shit,
Oh shit.
But yeah, nothing of this.
That's wild.
Recording stature.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's crazy.
That's wild. So you guys basically just tinkering, and you're like, one day you're just like, we should do something with this.
Yeah, and that was it. And then I found. So it's what's the name of the Mario? Whatever his name is, a speech in Silver Horizon. What's his name?
Oh,
I can't remember his name. I heard that speech, which I think Linkin Park's used both our speeches before, to be fair, on our album. But I heard that speech and I was like, I love that. And even though it was to do with like, sort of
Industrial Revolution.
Industrial Revolution type thing rather than robots, I was like, let's flip this into like robots. And then Tone just, I come up with the intro and the beat. And then gave that to Tone, really basic version. He just went away and wrote the whole song, and it was like he wrote that in like a week.
I think we surprised both of us, didn't we? Both of ourselves,
Yeah.
really, with what we come out with at the end. It was like, wow, this is actually,
this is all right.
quite enjoying this. This is good. Yeah, let's just roll with it.
It seems to be like a pleasurable thing for you guys. It's just you go in, you start doing it, and it comes out. It's not like you're having to strain yourselves over it, and it's just a labor of love.
This is our getaway. I mean, we both work full time. We both got families with young kids, and it's like. This is for us our kind of not escapism from all of that. I love my family, but this is nice for us that we can do this.
It's a hobby, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
something, it's something.
passion.
It is, but for us, it's something that now we've got the album out, and now we've had sort of feedback, from the likes of yourselves and loads of other people that we're thinking actually we could do something with this, and taking it a little bit more seriously. So we're still working on loads of work now, and time's a bit of an issue, but we're getting there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We know about time being an issue with side projects. That's
I know,
it is.
the amount of editing and just planning and stuff
man.
like that.
Yeah.
And then
Crazy.
still trying to pay your bills and see your family. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You get it I think.
You're trying to brand yourselves, and
That's it.
I've got to say I really like what you guys are doing, man. The visuals are half the battle
Yeah.
anymore, and with marketing yourself.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you got the idea to pop to get you to the music, which the music backs itself, man.
Nice one, man.
I'm definitely digging Digital Memories. I got to say I think that's my favorite song you guys have done. It's
Sounds-
insane. Like,
Yeah.
Wow, man.
yeah,
Thanks so
that's just a classic to me.
Yeah, thanks, man. I
You
think
know?
that's both of our favourites.
I know.
A lot of our friends and stuff, it's not really up there for them, which is weird. But for us, when we made it, we just it again that track. Again, a bit of another funny story about this is that when we made that track, we were probably about 6 tunes deep into the album.
Yeah, I think so.
And then
yeah.
we made that, and the difference in quality from that to what you guys have heard on the album is us reworking everything before it because they were rubbish.
That
if
ended
I'm
up
honest.
being a
Yeah.
benchmark, didn't it?
That was the benchmark. Yeah, we made that, and we were just like, everything needs to sound as good as this. So we went back and reworked the whole album that we had done already, and then made the rest of them. And we had to learn everything on the way, even though I've been producing for a long time. As I say, when you're doing remix work or even like hip hop isn't anywhere near as complicated as this. And I haven't done vocal work for years. When I was in London 10 years ago, I was doing stuff with some rappers and a few singers, but nothing special and nothing that got released of this quality. So yeah, it was all a learning curve. A lot of YouTube videos and late nights, so.
Oh yeah. I mean, at that point, I feel like honestly, self-taught, you can learn a little bit more.
Yeah.
The learning curve's hard. If you got to dig in, but I mean, the shit you can find with the resources of the internet today, it's
crazy.
like
it makes you that much better too, because then you're able to solve the problem on your own because
Yeah.
you don't have
Yes.
someone to turn
That's
to
it.
besides YouTube.
Yeah.
Professor
Yeah.
YouTube,
Yeah.
Yeah.
God forbid that Wi-Fi cuts out, then you're full.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Crack
Back to
open the
nostalgia.
textbook.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Is there even libraries anymore? I don't know where I go. What do I do, man? Like, encyclopedia from a bloody bookstall somewhere. I don't know.
What's a non-digital library?
I know, yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's true.
So, are you guys doing like any live stuff, or have any live things planned to go out there and perform?
That's the next step.
That is the
for
next
us,
step, yeah. We kind of need to... We're still sort of setting that up, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because it's, that's something we've not ever delved into before.
No, again, for me, I've done when I was younger. There was a scene in the UK called Garage, which was like I don't know if you guys probably haven't heard of it, but it's like a sort of dance, sort of what would you call it? US. What did you guys used to call it? There was a different speed garage. I don't know. You ever heard of speed garage or I don't know. But anyway, so it's a kind of dance music. And I used to DJ that back
Like
in
EDM?
Yeah.
Is it EDM style?
Nah, it's
Like doom doom.
no, it's
doom,
more like
doom, doom.
two-step beats, kind of two-step dance beats. It's hard to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit. It never really went outside of the UK, but it was massive over here for a few years.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and I used to DJ kind of in that scene, so I've done a lot of DJing and stuff like that live when I was young. And then I've bought not long ago like a full tractor set up and kind of started mixing again and getting back into it. But now we're just trying to figure out how we incorporate me doing that to Tone singing live and guitars and the visual side of it. I think again is really going to be really important to us. So
It's very big.
yeah, so it's
yeah.
how we do that with the resources we've got and
Projectors and laser lights and stuff. Trying to because there is only 2 people on the stage, so I think you need to fill it.
Yeah.
It's not like a whole band on the stage, is it?
Yeah, and we've been watching different artists out there.
Yeah.
Our favourite's probably the Midnight, and we've been watching them guys come up, and they're amazing.
That's like one of my favorite bands of all time,
Yeah.
man. Like I'm huge into the Midnight. Every song they have,
everything.
like
It's just phenomenal, isn't it?
oh, it's so fucking phenomenal. Honestly, one of the best.
yeah.
And they're hitting.
Yeah, I talk about them too much, honestly. on the show.
They're hitting it now.
I'll bring them up
aren't they?
randomly,
Yeah.
especially if I have like another guest on. It's like awesome that you guys know who they are.
Oh, we're going to their gig in London in March.
Yeah,
is it?
March.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so fucking jealous.
Oh man, have you not booked it? You had one your side, didn't you?
I don't know where
yeah,
they're-
I missed it. It was in New York City, man.
Oh,
They were
yeah,
playing with FM 84, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, but they're doing a
Time Pop, wasn't it?
group I'd
Time-
like to see.
No, they've done an FM84 gig,
FM84
but now they've
gig.
got like a 2 little mini tours, aren't they? Doing a US tour and then a European tour at the moment.
I gotta check into it,
gotta look
because last time I checked, I just missed one in the city.
Oh, man.
They had played LA in the city and New York City, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I really would love to catch them live, man.
I think they've just started their US tour now, aren't they? I think just
so,
recently,
yeah. So I mean, them guys are killing it. I mean, they're definitely probably the best, in the game right now. And I think for us, just watching what they're doing, how they started, and it was kind of basic from them at the start, if I'm honest. And you can see it's actually really their live stuff is really progressing now. So,
Oh man,
yeah.
over the albums, what was it, Daytona?
Yeah.
Right, it was the first one, or what? Was that the name of the first album?
Endless Summer.
You can see the
Endless
progression from
Summer.
them.
Endless
Yeah.
Summer was.
Endless Summer,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. Man, you could just see the progression.
Yeah.
And I love that they released the instrumentals too.
Yes, yeah. I
So
know.
you could take away if you want to just go true, like zone out.
Yeah.
Because to me, this music is so good to zone out to, and
Definitely.
I go for a drive and I'm listening to this.
Yeah.
Don't zone out too much behind the wheel,
Just-
Matt.
I
Have
stayed
we lost
within
him? Is he gone?
It's again.
You know what I mean. Come on, guys. This isn't gang up on that.
I'll stick up for you, Matt. Let's leave Matt alone. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, it's really good, like chill music though.
Yeah.
I get tranced on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really get
Yeah.
tranced on it. Like I just get into it, and I just imagine my own visuals sometimes. Like it's just
It's good, man.
I have a special love for this new. It's like a whole new wave of like music popping up that I feel like if a lot more people got a chance to hear about it, which they're like it got out there big time, it would just pop all over.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Everybody has that nostalgia.
I think the reason for that though is so many of the people that are in this game are independents. The Midnight are still independents. All of these big guys are, and I think that's why it's taking so long to kind of. I'm kind of happy where it is. I don't really want to be on.
I'm not.
Like. I mean,
Oh, you don't.
Well,
you don't want the producer.
You give
in
up
your-
so
in
much
your
freedom.
shit.
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
do that.
I mean, you signed to a label now that you don't need any of that. Again, with the internet, it's just to open the doors. Everything we've done ourselves, you know,
Yep.
we just.
I think the pressure we wasn't feeling that'd be totally different if you've got a label over your head, like you know,
and telling us
you
what
got to do this, you got to do that, and it'd just be like, I don't know if it would come out the same. I don't think.
That's why a lot of bands fail. You know, a lot of people don't realize that first album is the greatest hits. You know, a lot of the time it's like a combination of songs that people have written over the course of their life, and they put together. And you know, this is a piece of that person. And then that second album, they like, if you did get signed, they're like, you got to produce.
They want it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't just produce magic overnight, especially with that pressure. Like some people don't succeed with that. That's why you see very few that aren't like a one album hit, or you know, even just a one album hit and maybe a hit on the next album and then they're gone. You know?
Definitely.
Well, that and I mean, we spoke with artists that have been shelved, you know, by their by their label. And they're not putting anything else out by them, just letting their contract run. So it's like, what do you do with the 2 years? You know?
I know.
You're just not on anyone's radar.
I know. I don't think for us, I mean, that's just, we don't need to go down that road. As I say, we've got our lives, we've got jobs, we've got, you know, I mean, eventually we'd love this to be what we do. And, you know, again, people like Time Cop, you know, watching, I don't know if you've seen an interview of him on YouTube, but it's really good because, again, he had a normal job, family man, working in his loft, building his album and his songs, and then he just kept trying to fit gigs around holiday time from his workplace, and then eventually it just overtook, and now he's doing that. So you know,
now he doesn't have to go to the normal work just to do what he loves.
Exactly. That's the goal for us. But how long that'll take, I don't know.
Greatest feeling walking into the studio in the morning for a day's work.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
Right.
Some stuff.
We definitely understand that in our own aspect right now. You know, we do the 9 to 5 and then come do this on the side. And
more
like
like 3 to midnight for me, but
that's it.
But it's definitely, you know, it's just today I think it's all about networking. You know, as it is for us. You just got to be out there grinding, mixing like you are. You know, like you're popping up on this show and all the other shows you'll pop up on. And whatever way to promote yourselves. You know, the visuals. Hey, they speak for themselves again. I've got to say, it's you're definitely putting out a good art. Whether it's, you know, you're looking for on the eyes or on the ears.
Nice one, man.
I'm hoping for the next stuff. My brother's an illustrator, so I've gotten to him. I'd love to do like a proper series of like fresh artwork.
Yeah, we've got so many ideas with it. I mean, you know, we'd like to do a comic book at some stage as well, because the first album is about an entire story, so it's not just individual songs. It's
a bit of a concept.
On our Bandcamp, I've written a kind of little story around, you know, in a nutshell type thing of what it is. So the whole thing is a story. You know,
and that kind of came about by accident as well, didn't it? That was like the first sort of few songs we were writing.
Yeah.
It wasn't really particularly about, they weren't supposed to link, but then I sort of wrote them with an idea in mind, and then Phil, you
developed the story.
You sort of turned it into a story in your own head, and then we started, it just sort of developed.
Yeah, it helped us because it actually helped us kind of write the next song, so it was nice. But
then we had a timeline of what
So you're saying you're linking the stories of your songs?
All of the songs are linked, and it's maybe not necessarily easy to hear that, you know, by just listening to the album one time, but you know, again, we'd like to kind of produce things that link that, like a comic book or something like that. So
kind of the whole
That'd
album's
be cool.
kind of a
man, I'm definitely like I've actually become a comic book nerd in my older age, and Jesse knows I hound every artist. I'm like, is there any storyline connection? I'm always asking the artists. So like something that I very much appreciate is the storyline behind the music, not just the singles track and we're out. It's like the bigger idea of like, this album is about the story of blah 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 blah. You know, I really, really enjoy digging into stuff like that. And I feel like that's an aspect of music that was lost for a couple decades.
And you know, a comic book, that's a really novel idea. That's not something like I don't think I've ever heard of that. If there has been one before, I haven't heard of it. And I think it's a really cool idea.
One artist I think I've ever heard of that done it. I can't even think who it is now. Done a really cool comic book like with.
So it wasn't your idea? I thought it was your idea.
No, well, it
was
my. No, do you know what? No. Hold on. It was. I'm just robbing everything. You know what? It was my idea, but I went to my hairdresser's, who's really into. He's like the only sort of other guy that I know who's massively into synthwave, and he's. Mrs. actually sung on our album, but I went there and I was telling him about the idea, and then he was the one who told me that he knows of one other person. He had the comic book there, and he showed it to me, and I was like, man, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it has been done. You know, for the chances of me.
Everything's been done though.
Everything's
I know,
been done,
yeah.
you know
It's
what I
hard
mean?
to come up with. Well, we had an idea, didn't we, of doing it when we finally press an album,
on
a
vinyl,
it'd
yeah,
be
if
nice
we
to
get
have
to-
it within the album, within
Yeah.
the sleeve of the album. You know, like have a comic book in there.
So you're definitely planning on going vinyl too.
I think that it solely depends at this stage. No, but if
there's enough interest,
yeah, if we get enough interest, then absolutely,
Absolutely.
man. You know, we're going to need to know that we're going to be able to sell 1,000 copies. Which
Right
now I can't say that, but you know, I think in time to come, and once we've done some live gigs and that, then yeah, definitely.
There's a big resurgence for that. I mean, I got a record player right in my living room. It's fantastic.
I wouldn't knock making a small production of them, and in a short time here, make like a run of like 20 even off of one of the websites, man. Because I bet people would be into that, man. Your music is original.
The cost and everything.
That's the thing.
True.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, true.
You've got to press 500, 1,000 to kind of keep the cost. You know.
Yeah, right.
Real,
yeah, true. You are paying. It's insane. We've looked into it for a project of our own.
Yeah.
I know, it's a shame. I mean, like, you'd think nowadays with like 3D printing or something that someone could come up with an idea of how to just print vinyl,
An alternative,
rather than the way they do it. But I don't know. That hasn't
Just
happened
pop out
yet,
vinyls like Play-Doh, you know. I don't
so.
know.
Yeah, I know. Just have it on my desk, you know, and then just print them out. Lovely.
Right.
So, yeah.
But definitely want to do that though, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, that's on the radar. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been asked. We're on Bandcamp, and a few people have asked us if we're going to be doing CDs and
Any hard
vinyl.
copies,
But I just don't feel that we're there enough yet with the following and the interest, and you know, obviously more exposure through avenues like you guys and stuff will hopefully get us to that point. You know, we'd love to do that.
I think our main thing is we're going to sort of invest in our live stuff. I think that's the next thing that's going to, any of our time and money is going to go into that. I think at the moment.
That makes sense because that's how you're gonna get out there and let
That's
people
it.
know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're around.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you definitely have the art. Now it's just about broadcasting it in every avenue you can find, right?
Exactly. So you know, we're working on new music now. You know, we've got a new single that we hope to have released end of the month.
Hopefully, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So relatively soon you're going to be releasing.
Yeah, just one single. It might go towards an EP. We're kind of not sure yet. But we've got about 4 or 5 ideas on the go at the moment. So we want to just keep the music and the images and the videos and stuff just always coming, because I think having that content is what's going to drive this forward.
It's keeping people interested in it. 100%.
Yeah. We never thought we'd just release an album and it would explode and we could, that's it. We're made. It's going to take a shit ton of work.
Yeah.
Well, hey, and I mean, you might even putting in this time and effort down the line, it gets people to go back to that first album and go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
well, it is an amazing album too.
Yeah,
you know, it just you never know when you're going to reach the people, so it's good to get that backlog.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple of years, I think, to for anything to really happen. I think.
Yeah,
if it does.
Keep the
you never know.
expectations low, and then when you blow up, you'll be like,
well,
that much more surprised.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, keep releasing a single at a time isn't a bad idea, because we've had new wave artists on that have had a single go viral on a new wave playlist on on Spotify and stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, just keep releasing.
That's it, man.
And keep doing this.
Well, and it seems like you guys love what you do, so there's gonna be no problem with that.
Yeah.
That steady stream of of awesome music coming out of you.
I'd be making music if no one was listening to it. I don't care. I've enjoyed it so much.
Yeah,
That's it now.
the process is
right?
the best bit. Yeah,
Just
I think this is for us the bit that we love the most. Is just coming in the studio, getting an idea down, a really rough idea on a keyboard, and then Tony will either come out with some vocals there and then, or usually take away that bass idea and then sort of just start WhatsApping each other like these rough. We've got about 1 million versions of every tune.
It's quite fun to look back at, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, usually starts sometimes with an acoustic as well. So I think we've got one on our Insta where you've recorded it, but that's actually the new song, but it's a slow version. But that's kind of how sometimes again we start. Tony just lays the chord down on his acoustic and sings a verse or something.
A song that way,
chorus, and then I
just evolves from there
and build a song around it. Yeah, definitely.
That's cool.
Yeah, just it derives, man. I think it's very primal. You have to have that kind of passion.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a creative type. If you're a creative type, and you don't create an actual any content at all, it doesn't matter whether you're just you're a woodsmith. If you're working with an organic material like that, or you're creating a digital music. Like a podcast. you got to find that passion in life.
Definitely.
Otherwise, man, you're gonna feel empty. I feel like and when you find it, like you guys have, it's just like it's like a drug of its own in life.
Yeah.
It's just something you're like, man, you're thinking about it during work. You're like, shit, I got an idea for this.
Yeah.
You know, I can't wait to like run that by, like see how that comes out.
I know. I think the challenge is kind of not getting carried away with it and saying like, and not like giving up on work or something, and just thinking about that all the time, because that can happen.
That is a challenge.
It is a challenge. So I think we kind of keep ourselves grounded like that.
It's quite difficult. Yeah. It is quite difficult though. I am at work thinking all I want to do is go home and write a song.
Man, I understand.
You just get through it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just keep grinding and use that passion.
That's
of, thinking about it in the moment all the time when you get into the studio to like just keep creating that fucking the best you can. You know.
Definitely.
And if you up this, I think you won't have a problem transitioning at all. I think people are going to be on the upwave, the new wave, and I think you guys should explore the U.S. a little bit too, networking in the U.S. because I feel like this shit is gonna be popping soon.
Yeah,
it's definitely on the upswing.
Yeah, I mean,
with movies like Drive popping it out, Stranger Things. Like I don't think I didn't notice that Drive clip video you got out there.
Yeah, I know.
That's one of my favorite movies of all with Kavinsky. I was like, wait a minute, was that Kavinsky in this movie? This movie's my favorite.
I know. It's an amazing film, and it worked well, didn't it, with the song?
The starter, man. Kavinsky opening the movie like that, just bold move.
I know.
It's such a great song as well. That song.
Yeah, man. Night Call.
Yeah, it's awesome. Really
so good. So good. Yeah. So where can the people? Where is the best for the people to reach out to your music?
I mean, for us, Instagram is our biggest platform. We're still working on some of that. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out I've got a SoundCloud account for when I was doing other types of work, and we've set one up for us now. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of how I approach that with. Do I put just clips on there? I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. So that's the next part. I'm going to do a SoundCloud account properly so people can listen to it. But Bandcamp's awesome as well. So I don't know if you guys use Bandcamp or.
I'd say we're more on Spotify.
Spotify's huge in the US. I don't know how it is over in the UK,
we're on Spotify. We're on everything. That album's on every platform.
Spotify, Deezer, Google.
I've been listening to you on Spotify. I was hoping that was okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I didn't know what kind of really.
Well, I think the link that we sent you for the album, that's so you can physically download it, and if you haven't got internet connection.
And we didn't even mention that at all. We're gonna do a little giveaway, a coincided giveaway here, to where we'll have a few copies of this album to give away, I believe.
Definitely, yeah.
So we'll work that out in the next week of release.
Awesome.
And the guys were kind enough to give us a couple albums to give away.
Yeah.
And it is really fucking good.
Nice
I've got to say.
Nice one.
Cheers, man. Appreciate
it, man.
Well, again, thank you.
We appreciate you being on.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having us, man. I mean, I think it's been this has been cool, man. So if ever you want us back, and we'll keep you guys in the loop. I think just stay looking on our Insta account. That's where we post most of our content, I guess. I just think it's a great platform. We're on Facebook as well, and not on Twitter yet, but again, that's coming up. But I think for me, I like Insta because of the whole images and just the simplicity of it.
It is simple,
nice.
isn't it? It's
We're the same way.
Yeah.
We're the same way. Our biggest presence is on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think
you can
it's
interact
the
a
one
lot
that's going to
easier
stick.
with people.
I think it's going to stick versus all the other ones. Facebook's kind of dying out towards just being like a family aspect.
Yeah, totally. Totally. So it's Delta City Music, by the way, if people want to find us on Insta. So
there you go.
Yeah, Delta City Music, and then obviously Delta City. Do you know what that's from? Do you know where our name's from?
No, where is that from?
It's RoboCop.
Oh, okay. A RoboCop reference. Another little '80s thing sprinkled on top.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
Massive.
I haven't seen RoboCop in quite a few years. I've got to say. Now you guys have convinced me to go watch it.
I'll watch it again. Honestly, man. Classic.
Not the remake though. The original
VHS era.
The original. Yeah. Forget all the ones after that. They were shit. But the first one, amazing. So yeah, that's where we got it from. And again, it was just I don't know, more like picking through names. And I was
a list, didn't we? And that one just sort of jumped out, didn't it? Just seemed right.
Delta City, like that. Yeah.
Well, definitely check them out. Delta City. They are available all over. The YouTube videos are awesome visually. If you're in the car, check them out on Spotify. We love you guys, and we're looking forward to having you back on after a few more releases here. And real quick, let's give our plugs. We are American Slacker Podcast. Check us out on Facebook. You'll find the American Slackers group. A bunch of other slackers like you are out there chiming in, putting out all kinds of ridiculous shit on the internet you should see.
You can
also check out the Instagram where we have the art promos for each and every show. And also the beautiful website. It has been renovated, AmericanSlackerPodcast.com or ASPodcast.com.
You can also find us on Twitter and Reddit at AMERSLKR Podcast. All of our episodes are on YouTube. Please rate and review the show on iTunes, 5 stars or nothing, and tell a friend to help create another slacker.
And until next time, that's it.
There you go.